Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
A windy morning, but by this afternoon, those winds will subside. We'll reach a high of 41 with a mix of sun and clouds. Increasing cloud cover tonight with a low of 27. A high of 30 tomorrow, but that will be during the morning hours as a strong cold front blasts through the area, leading to falling temperatures by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Hold up.
Don't hold up. It's Friday. Hope you dipped out of the office early on your way home to get your weekend started off right. Hey, if you're still at work, though, thanks for dialing us up on theticketfm.com, 93.7 The Ticket, or Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm Austin Norman, joined as always by Eric Strickland here on the block. And, of course, we are presented by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Check out Charles and the great food that they're making down there at 27th and Pine Lake. Busy day here on the block. Lots to get to. 2 Nebraska basketball games tomorrow. We'll get Nebraska basketball at Maryland and the women at Iowa.
Ooh.
Big ones.
Ooh. Women got to deal with the woman version of Steph Curry.
They do. They get to. They haven't beat her yet.
Yeah. And look, even when they've been like on the verge of snatch, it's like she just does something. I don't know if it's, shooting from the freaking from not Scottsbluff, but definitely from Fremont,
right.
something like that. But yeah, she's made some tremendous buckets that would basically send us home with our tail between our legs. But yeah, Huskers are gonna have a tough one too. Hitting the road against Maryland, it's never easy going on the road, but going on the road limping, with some injury issues and. You're taped up and beat up and
down to 8 guys.
It's like being in the jungle, and you have a lion mentality, and you injured your leg, in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For the pride, another lion comes in and just kind of beats you up a little bit, and you're kind of limping around, but that's how they are right now. It's really tough. I feel bad. I really do. I would say it hurts my heart to see that this team is not at full strength to be able to see what they could have done with what they had.
Because again, with the starting lineup that I think most of us would have envisioned before the year, they're 7-3 with wins over Creighton, who's back in the top 15 in efficiency rankings.
Should have beat Purdue.
Iowa. Should have beat Purdue.
Yeah.
Tells me all I need to know what that team could have been.
Potentially could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything else we got on the show, we will talk some recruiting, a little NIL with that. Strick's picks at the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Conference championship games. Big ones this weekend in the NFL. So we'll get Strick's picks on that. And of course, at the bottom of this hour here, or towards the end of the hour, we will play the shootout with Strick. One more win. Champ's starting to walk toward the building.
By next week.
I'm trying to get
it. I'm trying to go out with a bang, my guy.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to go out with a bang. It's been fun though. It's been a fun week. A lot of good content has come out. Interested to jump into what we're going to talk about today. Some interesting topics that we can delve into. I'm looking forward to it.
402-464-5685. If there's something you want us to get into, that's the Honda of Lincoln hotline or the Starter Heyman text line. And Strick, let's start there. Just saw one come in over the wire. Someone asks, can you tell them what's wrong with the Bulls? It's killing him. Why can't they ever have a healthy point guard?
It's sad with that situation too, because Ball was starting to really come alive after leaving the Lakers. Alonzo was starting to find himself. He changed his jumper. He was starting to knock down shots. He was looking like what everybody would have envisioned him to be. Gets injured. I think a lot of that can be attributed, and I'm not going to say it is, to them going with that big baller brand shoe. I mean, he was blowing them out. There's so many things that he was doing, with injuries coming out of that, blowing out of shoes. So then you have Caruso come over, which was a very integral part for the Lakers and the success that they were having before he left. Didn't want to pay him. A great defender. It would have been nice to see them two play together with Levine, and then DeRozan. DeRozan is a mid-range killer. Levine is super athletic. Okay center play, but they had in the East, they had the mix of a team that could have made some noise, and all of a sudden now just can't get right. There's a movie out called not Harlem Nights, Life. There's a movie out called Life, and it had Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in it. And there was a guy on there that was a mute. He couldn't speak, but he was a tremendous athlete, and his name was Can't Get Right. And that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like with this doggone Chicago team. They just can't get right.
If you look at that roster, Lonzo's supposed to be the point guard, but he's injured. Wildly unfortunate. Caruso, not a natural point guard.
Right.
Had to run the point a little bit. And then at that point, you're down to Kobe White. You've seen flashes from, hasn't been great. Or Ayo Dosunmu off the bench as a rookie. Not the best point guard situation. And that's an important position in the NBA, especially when you have guys like Levine, like DeRozan, like Nikola Vucevic, who need to be set up. Obviously, DeRozan can go get his own, but you don't want him bringing the ball up and having to work, all 94 feet for it.
Yeah.
Levine can. He's athletic as heck, like you said, can get out in transition. But if you can set him up for easy ones as much as you can and then let him go get his when the game's on the line, you do that. But to make those guys, have to feel like they need to bring the ball up sometimes, what's that like, having that extra, stress of bringing the ball up against an NBA defender?
I mean, and that's the thing about, me not also being in a similar mold of Caruso is we understood that. I think that's why it was so good for the old Bulls when they used to run the triangle offense, is that was a way to alleviate a lot of the stress. Is they never had to deal with high level pressure because they always had pressure releases, whether it been from half court, full court. They would just pass it. Whoever was the least capable defending guy, that way Scotty could handle it. MJ could handle it. That was what was good. Even with the Lakers teams, Derek Fisher's not traditional. Derek Fisher's not a traditional point guard. Derek Fisher was a player. He could handle the point guard position, but he wasn't traditional, and that's why he fit well in that system. And in the same manner, when I played, it was the same thing. Like if I knew I had Muggsy Bogues that was going to be covering me, or if Gary Payton was going to be hounding me, I mean, you could force it and you can go against it, but why? Give that thing up to Michael Finley, go down, get in the offense, and let's go. Sure. So it's tiring, because if you have to continue to get yourself, you got to think about it, 24 seconds happens quickly. That's what a lot of fans don't understand about the NBA game is that stuff is happening quickly. It looks like it's slower than the college game. It looks like the pace and the intensity. No, it's just that they're playing so quick and so easily and so effortlessly because they're pros that it just looks like it's that. But 24 seconds, that means you got to get the ball over in 8. That leaves you only what?
16. You've got to get into something very quickly, and then you're rolling. So that's the thing about it is if you have somebody that can slow that tempo down as far as getting into the offensive sets, that can put yourself in an advantageous situation. break down the 24-second clock for people. When ideally as an offense do you want to be initiating, and when's the oh crap we just got to go point?
Yeah, you want to be initiating by 18-16.
Okay.
Because if you've got to get into a pick and roll, ball reversal, a kick with another drive to another kick, that's usually where the good shots come from.
Right.
The good shots come from multiple pick and roll opportunities to a drive. If it's not a drop, you find a guy on the weak side because the help has to help in. Then there's either a shot or a hard closeout to one more dribble, to one more pass. There's your shot. That has to happen within that period of time. Where you get into it's time to go moments, you want to be in that by about 8 seconds, because you want to give yourself an opportunity if you need to make a pass to be able to do so. So usually about 8 seconds is when you want to be trying to get into, it's time to get to something, to get to a shot.
So as you're breaking that down, you essentially have 6 seconds to get the ball across half court.
Yeah.
No, at hopefully the most.
Yeah.
Is what you want to take. Then you have 10 seconds to do the pick and roll, drive, kick, shot fake, probe, and then, okay, maybe we don't have a shot. Now we got to go.
Yeah.
That's 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like that.
That's what I'm saying. That's how fast it happens. And some people just can't understand, that speed and that pace. And look, a lot of college young men think they can just come in, and you have to change your psyche. It happens a lot quicker than what you think. And you're playing not 30-something games, you're playing another 50. Mm-hmm. So there are situations where young men hit rookie walls where you're just like, oh. And now these NBA, I still think it's terrible because I didn't have to do that. Or, most of us had to play through or try to get back. And now they're trying to shrink games, or you go to a game and these guys are talking about rest. What? Yeah. And so the fans don't get the full, just think if you're going to a Golden State game and your son or daughter had waited all this time to get to see Steph Curry, and you go to the game and it's rest. Come on.
We just had that with the Heat. A kid flew up from Argentina to watch Jimmy Butler play in Miami. Yeah. And he rested that night. Props to Jimmy and the Heat. They were still at home. So they brought the kid back and still got pictures and everything. But 4,500 miles to fly and not see a guy.
Yeah. That's disappointing. Mm-hmm. It's disappointing, Austin. And that's what hurts, I think, about the game. I think that's what fans hate about the game. I think that's what's disappointing. It's probably why some of the ratings are down. And then you have the other aspect right now that's going on, where the WNBA is really asking, for the private plane situation. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people try to put the onus on, as I looked into it, they're trying to put the onus on, the brass of the WNBA, and they're trying to put the onus on, the owners and so forth, and they're doing it in a public view. But when you look at it, the gosh darn it, my mind, Becky, I think
Brianna Stewart.
No, the
Becky Hammond.
No, the commissioner of the WNBA. No, the commissioner of the WNBA, Kathy Engelberg, right? Kathy Engelberg had an interview with the USA Today, and in that discussion with the USA Today, she said, "This is the telltale of the real meaning of it," and then I'll get to the background of it. In the discussion with the WNBA or with the USA Today, she said, there's been a lot of corporations, and it has to do with our sponsors. Our sponsors really, we would love, to partner with them to help alleviate some of this cost. And she says they talk to the sponsors, and when she tells them the price tag, she doesn't hear from them no more. And the reasoning behind that is $20 million. When you invest as a company or a business, you want an ROI in that, right? Mm-hmm. So therefore ratings are important, so forth and so on. And so but then here's the other part of it. In their collective bargaining agreement, and this is where sometimes I just get so disappointed about the way that things are put forward. In their collective bargaining agreement, they were given in the negotiation an opportunity to choose between higher salaries or private flights.
Let me guess. They took the salaries.
They took the salaries. So it's like, you can't blame it's like you had an option to choose which one, because financially this is what we could do, because they're already operating at a deficit. So there's just things like that, in totality that just, bring disappointment. It's things that even now in the next collective bargaining agreement that the NBA is going to have to look at. They're trying to raise the bar to get more money from TV, but their ratings aren't
great
reflecting that. So yeah, it's going to be tough. We're all affected. I mean, I get pension from them, so I'm sure at some point that could be an effect on me too. I mean, so I'm not coming from a standpoint of, just I'm coming from a standpoint of like, just be real about it. Let's just be authentic and real.
Let's keep this conversation going after the break. What can the NBA do to get better ratings? Because they're superstars on pretty much every team, every way you turn. Seems like it should be a golden era for basketball with the numbers guys are putting up every night. The ratings aren't reflecting that. What's the issue with that? We'll dive into that and more after this.
A new year means new goals and upgrading, but that doesn't only apply to health and fitness. Mullen Motors can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2023 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2022 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Lake.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. It's basketball season, and that means you're fighting cold weather and snow to get to the arena, waiting for lines at the game, and yelling too much at the refs. Trek CBD has a variety of products that help calm me down during the game so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after. Whether you're drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Andrew. Trek CBD done right.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A windy morning, but by this afternoon, those winds will subside. We'll reach a high of 41 with a mix of sun and clouds. Increasing cloud cover tonight with a low of 27. A high of 30 tomorrow, but that will be during the morning hours as a strong cold front blasts through the area, leading to falling temperatures by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits. Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call me for 802-560-97. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is Megan Witter from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hour one on the block on your Friday. Thanks for dialing us up. I'm Austin Norman. He's Eric Strickland. Getting back to the conversation we were just having, the NBA and its ratings. Always looking for more money. The prices are going up, 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 up. We heard the Big Ten's football deal, $1 billion. NBA is bigger. It's a pro league, but declining or not grow. Maybe declining isn't the right word because they're still getting more money, but not at the same rate, right? It's not growing like they wanted it to. Why do you think that is?
So there was a transition, and I love what the texter said. Texter 52 with the 3-point line. The game has turned into a 3-point competition, and honestly, I'd rather watch paint dry. Get back to real basketball. I feel you, and I think also too, the ticky-tack, the fouls called, guys getting touched and finishing, and it's so many free throw shots. It's threes, free throw shots, and dunks. You know, that's really what the game is. It's not defense. I mean, teams scoring 130, 100. Come on, man. I mean, look, I know a lot of people may not have liked it, but I think a lot of people that are hard-nosed, blue-collar, hard-working, white-collar, it doesn't matter. It's you wanted the battle, right? In anything that, like when you're just sitting at home and you're watching TV, sometimes you might just watch the World War II little documentaries because you like the battle. You like the strategy, right? Teams, that's why I like watching football. I don't like watching, and now I'm kind of getting even, sick about watching football because of you touch the quarterback now, and it's like, what do you expect him to do? I mean, like he just pushed the quarterback, and I'm like, you hit the guy, you got all the, and I understand your CTE, you got all these different concussion protocols. I get it. But to me, I loved it when Steve Atwaters and Ronnie Lotz, and you come over the middle, you had to think about catching the ball. You had to consider, if that ball's thrown too high, do I really want to go get it? Or if I'm going to go get it, I got to tuck and roll real quick because Ronnie Lott or somebody might be waiting on me, or Woodson or somebody like that, right? Those were the things that I liked about the game, right? Now it's like soft. It's like, and that's how the NBA is to me. Whereas before, you used to be hard-nosed. Guys you had your John Starks types, and these battles between the Knicks and the Pacers. And that's another part of it. Knicks, Pacers. It wasn't Reggie Miller Starks. It was Knicks, Pacers. It was Knicks versus the Bulls. Yes, Michael Jordan was the guy, but it was still Knicks, Bulls, and it was Scotty, and it was, Kerr, and it was
Magic Bird, but it was Lakers, Celtics.
Right. And that's the battle. So it was the strategy of how this team was going to outthink, out-hustle, outwork, and that's what you got into about the game. That has changed. Now it's about who's the cutest, who looks the best, who's got the most flash, who's got the most glare. You got all these other things now that it just it's to me. And Tyler says on the text line, Strick, spot on, spot in. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how a lot of people feel. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, Sauter Heyman text line's open to you to reach out, 402-464-5685, to let me know if you think of it a different way or see it from a different perspective. I don't like watching it. Like, I have to watch it because of what I do, but I don't like watching it.
It feels like a job.
Especially in the early parts of the season. It's just, and that's where they've got to figure it out. They've got to find out how to drum up. And I know that they've been talking about this new tournament and all this stuff, they've got to do something to drum up just the interest, because people don't get interested at all until you come to the second half of the season. And
really
usually about
All-Star
February,
break, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, I know last segment we just talked about how, players being for rest is what it is at this point. Would cutting down the regular season improve interest because there are fewer games? Do you think that's a viable path?
See, you it's tough to ask me that question, Austin.
Right. I know you don't want to. But
It's tough because I played in 82 games. I didn't have any major injuries. I tore my Achilles after I retired. So you can't come to somebody who is a multi-sport athlete through high school and in college and played almost a decade in the NBA with no major injuries and played a lot of 82 games other than small injuries where I missed a few games. You can't tell me that. So that's why I'm like, are you serious right now? And you don't have two-a-days like I had to go through. Like, we had to go almost 5 days of almost a week before we saw any action on a court. Y'all are 2 days and you're in the exhibitions. It's like, come on, man. You guys have it easy compared to and you're making more money than we did. We're doing it with less money. So that's the part for me.
But do you think cutting it down would make it
What do you think that would do? What do you think that would do?
My guess is that it wouldn't, because whether you're playing 82 or 70 or 60, it's still a lot of games, right? It gives you less of a margin for error the fewer you play. So it's more important to get off to a hot start. And because you're playing fewer, yes, every game would hold more meaning, but it's still a long season.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, cut 20 games off. 60 is still enough games. I mean, the lockout season still played 66. It was a shortened season.
So do you cut money?
No one's going to want to do that.
Right.
No one's going to want to do that.
Yeah. No one's going to want to take less money. So play the games. That's what's disappointing to me. If I'm an owner and you guys are always resting, well, we need to start adding some stuff into these clauses. I want return on my investment. And if my investment is sitting, how can I fill up these stadium seats? How can I get people to watch? It's suffering now. Those are the things, and I'm telling you, you go be on the lookout in the next collective bargaining agreement. There's going to be some stipulations and some things and some terms that are probably going to be thrown in it that maybe guys aren't going to like, but come on.
The only thing I can see about cutting down on the number of games is, can you charge more on a per game basis? Can you make each game worth more money on its own because there are fewer of them? Kind of exclusivity, right? If there are fewer options, maybe you drive up the price a little bit, but then that's fewer tickets that you're selling. So the ticket prices are going to go up, or
it's economics.
Fewer TV games. I'm glad you brought up economics.
It's economics.
To a point you made before in the ratings too. I just listened to ESPN Daily's podcast about heliocentrism, which is what Kirk Goldsberry, the guest they had on, described as the Harvard way of saying, I'm a ball hog. Everything's built around one player. Michael Jordan's 95-96 Bulls scored fewer points per game than the 30th ranked offense this year in the Heat.
Okay.
That's crazy. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, 72-win team.
And he averaged 30 points dang near a game.
Averaged 30 a game. They're scoring less now than the worst offense in the NBA.
But they're also the best defensive team.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, is that points don't have to be like dollars, right? Inflation doesn't have to affect the economy the same way it affects points in basketball. It's awesome to see what Steph Curry's done. I'm a huge Steph Curry fan. It's a blast for me to watch. Luka Doncic is fun. Giannis Antetokounmpo is fun. Nikola Jokic as a hub is fun. And yeah, they have supporting guys around them, but there's so much less team basketball. It's how can these guys get this one guy open?
Facts.
And here's the thing. I can't fault coaches or GMs for going that way, because with the 3-point line, you're incentivized to shoot threes. It's simple.
The
math.
analytics. Yeah.
If you're ignoring it, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Free throws are efficient. They're the most efficient play in basketball.
Yeah.
and dunks, layups at the rim, anything you can get there. Of course, you're going to want more of those shots. Mid-range isn't dead. The assisted mid-range is dead, right? Like, look at what Jason Tatum's doing in the mid-range. Luke is doing in the mid-range.
Kevin Durant.
KD, mid-range assassin.
Dang near the whole Brooklyn team.
Pretty much, yes. The mid-range itself isn't dead, but there's so little variance in style of play that maybe we've gone too far into empowering superstars, right? Buckets are fun. It's cool watching those guys go off. But I do think that you've lost some of the character of the NBA and the teams, because with the whole, player empowerment era, I think people are terming it since LeBron made the decision. It's all about the players. You follow the name on the back, not the name on the front. There's got to be a better balance in there than what we have now.
I don't even need to talk. That's the way I think. That's what I feel. I think if it's going to change, it's got to revert back to that. Why? And I know we've got to go to a break because we've got Shootout with Strick coming. But why do I feel that way? Because when it was like that, there was always interest. Because the city can get behind you. The city would like regardless of what you said prior to us, me getting traded and then breaking out, winning their 50-win games at Dallas, the city still was rooting for us. You know what I mean? It wasn't about just Michael Finley, Steve Nash, Dirk. It wasn't just about. It was about the Mavericks. You know what I mean? And they got behind that. And when another team came in, and whether it was the Lakers, whether it was Sacramento, it didn't matter. Think about those Sacramento teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't about just Chris Webber and Peja Stojakovic and Mike Bibby. It was about the Sacramento Kings, right?
Their little brother against the Lakers. How do they punch back?
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So and now that your old guard is starting to transition out, your Kevin Durant's, your Kyrie Irving's, your Steph Curry's, your LeBron James, Melo's already gone. Now these guys are starting to transition out. You've got a young group of guys, but where are they at?
New Orleans, Memphis, Denver.
Dallas is not necessarily.
Huge.
You got them in
Oklahoma City has had a lot of.
You've got them in
guys.
Smaller markets.
Minneapolis and Edwards. So
you got them in smaller markets, and Giannis,
Milwaukee.
You see what I'm saying? So now be on the lookout for what they're going to try to do if they're going to make a shift. This shift may occur. Otherwise, I think they still fall off. It's going to occur during the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Watch where he goes.
Whose envelope gets frozen?
Watch where he goes. Watch how many. Look, they're going to say that there's. They're going to say that they're going to say that there's 10 envelopes in there for Houston. But somebody like no, they won't be New York. But somebody like the Lakers or somebody, no, Lakers can't do it because they don't have a first round draft pick. Somebody is going to, in a big market, I would think, is probably going to land him, or it's going to be a trade or something.
Okay, so right now the teams that are outside the playoff picture. So 11 down in the East is the Bulls, Raptors, Magic, Hornets, Pistons.
Watch out for the Bulls.
Bulls envelopes getting frozen. In the Western Conference, 11 on down, Thunder, Blazers, Lakers, like you said, without a pick, though, Spurs, Rockets.
Right. Unless they do something crazy and are able to land a first rounder, I don't think they'll get that high.
They probably won't. One thing before we go to break to wrap up this conversation, someone says, don't take this the wrong way, but we need more Dennis Rodmans in the NBA.
Facts.
What I think, I'm going to kind of put words in the mouth, is Dennis Rodman was a really good basketball player, not the most skilled guy, right? Didn't have all the ball skills. Wasn't going between the legs for all sorts of step back, crazy jump shots or anything like that.
Yeah.
Players are just so skilled. Like everyone on the court can dribble now, for the most part. Everyone on the court can make one or two moves.
I got pushback. Go ahead.
Okay, go for it.
No, finish.
I was going to say, given that that's what kids are seeing and how kids are being taught, like they're learning the importance of ball handling, every one of them.
Yeah.
They're seeing these shooters. So what do they want to do? They want to learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
The more that kids learn these skills are important, if that's the message they're getting, it's only going to get more skilled. We're going to see crazier stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be less about, how big, fast, tall, strong are you, and more about how skilled are you, which is the way it seems like we're heading.
Got pushback.
Okay.
So when you look at that, right, you're absolutely right. Ball handling, all that stuff. But here's the problem with it. it takes some of these guys 5, 6, 7 dribbles to get to a specific spot with multiple pick and roll situations, going behind the guy 2 and 3 times to get there. When we play, 2 dribbles, couple moves. If I want to get to the elbow, I can beat you with so although it may seem like the skill is less, it's just that it took us less to get to what we wanted to get
more
to.
More efficient, less flashy.
We're more efficient, less flashy.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, sure.
So if I wanted the ball in the post, I'm not going to get it in between the 3-point line and the block. Like most of these guys get pushed out and they can't, or they get it at the 3-point line. No, sir. If I wanted the ball on the block, I'm going to get it on the block. Gary Payton wanted on the block. Karl Malone wanted on the block. It's where we wanted the ball is where we were going to get it because we worked to be able to get to where we wanted to get to with less work of doing so. And that's what we trained on. We trained on it shouldn't take you 4 moves to get to this spot. It should take you 2. 1 with a counter, maybe 2 with 2 counters to get there and get to the shot that you want. So that's my pushback.
Right. You do one thing 1,000 times instead of 1,000 things one time.
Yeah.
Get really good at that. There you go. There are thoughts on the NBA, how to improve the ratings. Might touch more on that in hour 2, but we got the shootout to play. We've got Nebraska, Iowa women's basketball this week. So the trivia today, Nebraska wins over Iowa. We'll get into that if you want to play for your chance at $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Call the Honda of Lincoln hotline now, 402-464-5685. Shootout with Strick after this.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In boys high school hoops on Saturday, Lincoln High obliterated Fremont on the road 84-42. Lincoln North Star just got the win over Lincoln Northeast in a tight contest 50-48. Looking at the power rankings through Saturday, not a whole lot has moved up top. In Class A, Bellevue West still sits at number 1 with a record of 15-0. The next closest city school is Lincoln East at 5 with a 9-3 record. Following are Lincoln Pius X at 8th with an 11-5 record, Lincoln Southwest at 9th with a 9-5 record, and Lincoln North Star at 10th with a 9-4 record. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. It's basketball season, and that means you're fighting cold weather and snow to get to the arena, waiting for lines at the game, and yelling too much at the refs. Trek CBD has a variety of products to help calm me down during the game so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after any game. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Andrew. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
What should the expectation be for a team that's gutting half of it, and you're replacing it with guys obviously that you like long-term and some short-term that you think can help right away? But this is a roster flipping. This is something that you would do if you're thinking about 3 or 4 years down the line, and they're building the program, not building the 2023 season.
I would say you'll hopefully see improvement on all 3 sides of the ball, because you're going to have so many new faces, new names, new numbers. It's going to be really fun.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits. Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com. Because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo and Rings.
Time to play the game.
I need a caller. Play the game. Nebraska and Iowa trivia. Specifically, Nebraska wins over Iowa in all sorts of sports. Not going to say it's been dominated by the Hawkeyes recently. In football, up until this year it was. Basketball had a little losing streak. Other sports, though, have been able to handle Iowa more consistently in recent history. So if you want to play 402-464-5685, your chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. And, hey, if you play and you win, the champ's got to turn around. He's at the door. But if you win, the champ turns around.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting this win. That's the way I feel about it. I think I'm going to get this win today.
And, of course, Rico dipped. So if we don't have a caller, he can't play against
That means I get the win. I love it. Yes. Forfeits work in this game, Austin.
I don't want to
allow
that.
That was the best. When I was a referee, you might have on an AAU weekend, you might have 5, 6 games to do, 7. But there was nothing like that team not showing up for the last day. That forfeit where that money's coming regardless of what you do, as you said, I love it when you get this stricken and it's nobody that you have to fight for it. No, you don't have to answer.
I'm going to see if we can get someone else in so we can keep this going. If not, we'll bring him straight on. But the closest I ever got to seeing a forfeit in my high school career was we're playing Legion baseball, and we show up we're the first game of the day at a field.
Mm-hmm.
We're there, hour 15 minutes before first pitch, warming up, get down to an hour. They're not there.
Yeah.
Get down to 45 minutes. Other team's not there. Get down to half an hour. Team's not there. 15 minutes to go. We're like, oh my gosh, we're going to get a forfeit win. This was a tournament we had never played in before. The Mike Peterson tournament. Thank you, Rico, for getting us. We'll get to that in a second. But finally, like 10 minutes before first pitch, the other team shows up. They were the top seed. We end up walking them off in the 8th inning.
Did you?
So more satisfying that way to get the win the way it got intended.
Going into the weekend?
That would have been, I think that was a Saturday. So started the weekend off right. Also, starting the weekend off right, we got Roger on the line. Roger, thanks for calling in to play the shootout. Do you know the rules of the game?
I do.
Excellent. Well, with that, we will... Oh, crap. Not pulled up. Okay, here we go. With that, Strick, we will give you round 1 of the shootout. Roger, hold on the line. Strick, are you ready for this?
I think I am.
All right, round 1 of the shootout begins in 3, 2, and 1. He led Nebraska men's basketball in scoring in its win over Iowa this season. Juwan Gary, CJ Wilshire.
Gary.
Yep. She led Nebraska volleyball in kills against Iowa last season. Whitney Lonstein, Maddie Kubik.
Kubik.
Yep. He threw a complete game for Nebraska baseball against Iowa last season. Emmett Olson, Cody Frank.
Frank.
Nope, it was Olson. He made the game-winning shot in Nebraska basketball's win over Iowa in 2019. Amir Harris, Glenn Watson.
Glenn Watson.
Nope. He scored Nebraska football's last touchdown against Iowa last season.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Trey Palmer.
1.
It was not Trey Palmer.
Vulcan.
Trey got the first 2. Marcus Washington.
Dang it.
Got the last touchdown. Hot start. You got the first 2. Petered out from there. Roger, you need 2 to tie. You need 3 to win. How are you feeling about your chances?
Let's get her done.
All right. Round 2 of the shootout begins in 3, 2, and 1. She led Nebraska women's basketball in scoring the last time Nebraska beat Iowa. Hannah Whitish, Maddie Simon.
Simon.
Yep. He had a 3-homer game for Nebraska baseball against Iowa last year. Garrett Angle, Max Anderson.
Angle.
Yep. She earned both wins as a pitcher in Nebraska softball's games against Iowa last year. Courtney Wallace, Kaylin Kinney.
Wallace.
Yep, he blocked the final shot of Nebraska basketball's win over Iowa in 2019. Isaiah Roby, Thorir Thorbjarnarson.
Thorpe.
Yep, he sealed Nebraska football's win over Iowa last season with an interception.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No idea.
The answer is Chris Kolarovic. You didn't need it, though.
Boom, shakalaka. Give me a hell yeah. I said, give me a hell yeah.
Boy, you need to go put a lotto ticket in, Roger, because you were the guessing monster in this one. I know you didn't know all those answers. There's just no.
Oh, how do you know? Oh, no. There was no guessing. No guessing.
No guessing and no Googling, right?
I know he didn't do that. He was too
I'm
good
fast,
for that.
right?
Yeah, he was too fast for that. But my goodness. Oh, that's a great job, man. Congratulations, Roger.
Roger, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks for the win. Stay on the line. We'll get your information, and you can stop by the station and get your $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. The tiebreaker, just for fun, Strick, a Nebraska volleyball tiebreaker. How many consecutive matches has Nebraska volleyball won against Iowa?
8. Oh, wait, consecutive. That means
Yep.
out of, 12.
35 straight matches. Nebraska volleyball has never lost to Iowa.
Golly, my gosh, that's like domination. That's true finish him. That's really finish him.
35 straight.
That's
Against anyone. I don't care who you're
Anyone.
playing.
Yeah.
If you're playing your younger brother who's 10 years younger than you. 35 straight.
That's like when you walk in the building, you know it's a wrap. Like off top, you like, we about to handle this.
We see the end, and we're turning around.
Yeah,
Yep.
no bueno for that. They need help. That's how we was feeling on the football side of things for a while. Sheesh.
But-
He's like, we couldn't get a dub against them.
Right, but got to figure it out. Did it this year.
Got
Do
it
it
this
again
year.
next year. Get to do it back at home as well. That'll put a bow on hour 1 here of On the Block. When we return, NFL Conference Championship game previews as part of Strick's picks. 2 huge games this weekend, AFC and NFC Championship games. We'll get into that, get the breakdown, get Strick's picks all when we get back.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. With Professional Realtor Group, Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Biker with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. It's basketball season, and that means you're fighting cold weather to get to the arena, waiting for lines at the refs. Trek CBD has a variety of products that help calm me down during the game so I don't go over the top. And they have a variety of options to calm you down before, during, and after any game. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th CBD done right.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A windy morning, but by this afternoon, those winds will subside. We'll reach a 41 with a mix of sun and clouds. Increasing cloud cover tonight with a low of 27. A high of 30 tomorrow, but that will be during the morning hours as a strong cold front blast through the area, falling temperatures by the afternoon. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Attention all Wings fans. 80-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and others. Free estimate 42560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put customers' needs ahead of for you, American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Hold up.
Hour 2 on the block comes your way. Thanks for dialing up 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. You can watch the show here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. thanks to our friends at Sartor Heyman Jewelers providing the live video stream. Anything you want to chime in about, 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline or the Sartor Heyman text line. I'm Moss Norman. He's Eric Strickland. Glad you're along with us here for hour 2 of On the Block. Strick, On the Block, brought to us by who?
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Charles and the crew out there doing it big, 27th and Pine Lake. Shout out and let them know that we sent you if you happen to go out there and have a great meal. I might just pop out there after the show again.
If you have a great meal, you always have a great meal when you go to Marriott.
It's good. It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that meatloaf burger they had. Ooh, yes, sir.
That's still a concept that kind of blows my mind. I'm kind of bummed.
Meatloaf burger?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was well put together, and it, right spice, right, little seasoning on it. It was good. I enjoyed that. Definitely.
You put Mary Ellen's name on anything, put Charles's, stamp on it, I'll believe it's good.
Oh yeah.
Sight unseen.
Yeah.
Food untasted.
You just got to expand your palate. Your palate is just kind of shrunken a little bit. You just got to expand it a little bit, just a little bit.
It's true.
You'll be all right.
So we're wrapping up on the block here this hour. Don't forget, though, from 4 to 6, DP&J, they are out at the Mercado for Old School. They're at the Scarlet yesterday. They're out at the Mercado today. So listen to us, but make sure you swing by the Mercado from 4 to 6. Say hi to DP&J. Well, like we like to do every Friday here at this time, we're getting into Strick's picks. 2 big games. This is our big NFL preview here as we look at it. Do you want to start in the AFC or the NFC, Strick?
Well, obviously, I think that the AFC would be they're both great games. Let's go with the NFC.
Okay, starting in the NFC, you have the host Philadelphia Eagles. They earned the 1 seed in the NFC. Hosting the San Francisco 49ers. They got the 2 seed last week. San Francisco held off Dallas. We talked about that a little bit, while the Eagles blew out the Giants. Again, this game being played in Philadelphia. The Eagles favored by just about a field goal. It's a 2.5-point line. Strick, your initial thoughts on this game?
Well, first of all, you've got a potential MVP candidate this year in Jalen Hurts and Mr. Irrelevant in Brock Purdy. Both teams have great options as far as their offensive weapons. Obviously you've got Ayuk, you've got Kittle, you've got Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's got a treasure trove of Debo Samuels that you can
Elijah
throw
Mitchell.
out there. You know what I mean? Mitchell, yeah. I mean, just don't even forget about that. Mitchell comes off the bench and just still can give you that work. It's a great combination of what McCaffrey and Mitchell bring, to the game. And then you got a tremendous defense that handles business on the defensive side of the ball, led by by Bosa, obviously. And one of the things, though, is the poise that comes out of Brock Purdy that's so surprising. Then the thing that I spoke about this slightly yesterday, the thing that the San Francisco 49ers do, it's very complimentary in handling what the defense of Philly is, right? Their ability to get the ball out quick, the different types of counters that they could run. They could fake it to a McCaffrey with something coming back with Debo Samuels and still have a run option in that. Don't even slip on Brock Purdy's got some okay feet. He's not like just a guy, he's not like a Tom Brady standing in the pocket. No. Just you just surround him, run up and have your pass lane integrity. You better have it intact because he becomes an option as well. And then how do you game plan after George Kittle had the kind of week that he had last week? That's the danger. Now you look on the other side of things. You've got Jalen Hurts back healthy, had a pretty solid game. Didn't pass for crazy numbers, 151 yards, rushed for 34. But at the same time, you've still got a 1-2. You've got Smith. You've also got A.J. Brown. Then you've got Sanders. So you've got a good combination there as well. Their line is pretty solid. You can rely on them. They're reliable. Mm-hmm. So how are they going to hold up with the staunch defense that the 49ers are going to throw at them? So it's not like it's just an offense against the defense. Both of them have complementary offenses to where they're threats. And this is why I think it's going to be a great game. I really do. I think it's going to be a great game to watch, and I'm looking forward to watching it.
the key for me is Philly's pass rush against that San Francisco offensive line. We know that's what San Francisco's been built around, with Williams at left tackle, McGlinchey at right tackle. Philadelphia led the league streak with 70 sacks this year.
Yeah.
15 more than the second place team, also playing this weekend. We'll get to that in a little bit. 70 sacks. You would think that pressure like that would affect not just a rookie quarterback, but a rookie quarterback taken as the last pick in the draft.
Mhm.
But if you go back to week 14 for Brock Purdy, he's added the most expected points per dropback of any quarterback in the league. The offense has been number one in terms of expected points added per play since Brock Purdy took over. And he has the highest passer rating of anyone in the league since he took over. To me, Philly has to force Brock Purdy to have his first bad game. If Brock Purdy is just okay or fine, San Francisco has enough weapons to win the game. Philly has to make a rookie quarterback look like a rookie quarterback.
I think also something to kind of, just keep in mind is that how well is his timing going to be after missing, him not having a tremendous game in the last game for Jalen Hurts, as far as passing, him not having just a tremendous passing game, how well is he going to be able to drop dimes? Are the windows going to be wider or more narrow for him to be able to dart balls into those narrow zones? So what kind of tricks is the 49ers going to throw at him? But you got to watch his feet. You've got to have line integrity. You can't just go rushing upfield and just think that that's going to be okay with this Jalen Hurts led offense. So I'm interested just to see the strategies that are going to be implemented for this game. And again, who's going to be used and how effective they're going to be. I still think that for success for Philly, they have to have a run game. So it has to be where they're staying ahead of the chains. They can't be behind the chains and you're just sitting back there worried and wondering how they're going to be effective as far as taking care of things in the back. And again, I also will say, Austin, that tackling is going to be a key. Rack yards for Philly not for Philly, but for San Francisco is big. Them catching balls on drags and slants, and you make contact with them. If you don't bring them down, those guys can turn a 4 or 5 yarder into a 20-30 yarder. So those are things to watch out for.
Kittle's a big guy, but Debo's not huge. Ayuk isn't huge. And McCaffrey's not huge, but they're slippery. They're elusive. They find their way around tackles. And I think that helps Brock Purdy, is that he's not forced to make all these tight window throws. It's get it to a guy in space and let him do the rest of the work. Brock Purdy's the benefactor because he gets those yards added to his total, and look at him, he can distribute. But I haven't seen a whole lot of, upper tier elite, what a throw from Purdy kind of stuff. He's getting the ball where it needs to be on time. And that to me is the recipe.
And he's getting on and off of his reads really quick. So if it's not his 1 or 2s, he's getting to his 3s very quick. It's like he knows where he needs to go with the ball. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So on the other side, then you mentioned that Philly running game.
Yeah.
Is that Miles Sanders? Is it Jalen Hurts? Is it a combination of the two? What's Philly's best path to success?
Well, I think it's definitely going to have to be a combination of two. And that's the thing that you worry about, right? You worry about putting a Jalen Hurts, who is just coming off of an injury, back in harm's way against the hungry and thirsty 49ers defense that wants to, put some leather on you. You know what I mean? So, but I think it has to be a combination. I don't think just Sanders will be able to get it done solo.
Something to monitor across both games here is the coordinators are getting interviews across the league. You look at these final 4 teams in San Francisco and Philly, and then Kansas City as well. Their coordinators have gotten head coaching interviews. DeMeco Ryans turned down an interview from the Colts. It seems like there's mutual interest between him and the Texans, though. And Shane Steichen, the Eagles offensive coordinator, interviewed with Indianapolis. Do you think that those interviews play a part, given that they happened during the postseason? Do you think those guys' heads are where they need to be?
I think if you're a professional, they have to be. I think that with technology and the way things are now with film and all these things being available at the touch of your fingers, I think your ability to get on a plane, to go and do something, your strategy is your strategy, whether you're the OC or one, you have an implementation of what it is you envision, and usually it's kind of an extended arm of who the tree you come from. That's where you glean and get a lot of your knowledge about what you want a team to look like. That's why so many teams kind of, when their coach or their OC leaves or whatever, they kind of have a little piece of where they came from. Right. You can kind of see the styles, whether it's West Coast style, whether it's, play action style, whether it's, deep ball and whatever it is, right? It kind of comes with it. Obviously the personnel has to match up with it too, but you kind of have an idea of the style that you want to play, and usually it'll come with you.
You're making your pick here. Philly favored by 2.5. What's Strick's pick?
Yeah, for me, I have to give a hand clap for what Jalen Hurts and that Philly squad was able to do this year.
That's past tense.
I just think that there's a special story going on with the 49ers. And I'm not going to say it's one of those type of deals, but I'm going to say that I just think that the story continues. And I think if you're a football fan, that's really the kind of story that you want. A storied franchise with a story to tell about Mr. Irrelevant and his emergence coming up after everything looked like it was dead in the water, and you find yourself into it. There's no greater story than that. I thought it could have been with Jalen Hurts with just his turnaround of what he was able to do, but Mr. Irrelevant is just seeming. And then Christian McCaffrey, like, they robbed Carolina Panthers, and he comes over, and the change that he was able to bring to the, and then you talk about Debo, and they were kind of wishy-washy about whether they wanted to keep. I mean, there's a lot of stories going on over there with that 49ers team, and I think it's a better story to tell, and I'm sure that they would want to be able to. If you're an NFL football fan or you're an NFL brass, top of the NFL chain,
right?
That's the story you want to sell.
On the AFC side, you have the Bengals and the Chiefs. The Bengals have won, I believe, 10 games in a row now. It is including the postseason, their last 8 in the regular season. They're on the road going to Arrowhead, or as they're referring to it, Burrowhead. They said that on the sidelines against Buffalo, and the Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones even reiterated that the Bengals were calling it that today. Again, early storylines for this one, Strick.
Well, listen, everybody has been talking about Josh Allen. Everybody's been talking about Mahomes. And Joe Burrow is a guy that's been overlooked, has been an unsung type of hero. Everybody is kind of just, even here in Nebraska, I don't know how we're dumb to let him kind of go when he wanted to be here. But when everybody thought it was going to be Bengals Bills, and they sold 50,000 tickets already, you can tell by the way that he said it that he's got chip on his shoulder. Everybody's talking Mahomes and MVP and all this stuff, and I beat him regularly. So I think he's got a chip on his shoulder that he wants to show and prove that he's that guy. He's got the weapons to do it, got the running game that's solid. The only issue is, can they keep him protected? And that's the thing. He benefited last week from a very, just bad weather. The weather helped that Bengals team. I don't care what anybody says, because they were physical. They were able to, get downhill. They made the right plays. It started off early. They got out on him, and they made it tough for the Bills. And so I don't know if they're going to benefit from weather on this one, but they've got a Mahomes who's now injured, and it's not front foot, it's back foot, it's plant foot. It's the foot that matters when you need to make the right throws. Listen, throwing an out with a bad foot, I don't care how strong your arm is, that ball doesn't get there with the same zip as it would. So keep your eyes on double moves early to try to get stuff, taking advantage of Bengals who are going to be thirsty, chomping at the bit to try to jump on balls, knowing that he could be hindered a little bit. You saw him hobbling. If you saw some of their workouts, you saw they were hobbling a little bit. So keep your eyes on that. Maybe some double moves to get to get out on them early. But then where he's dangerous is his ability to slide, to step up, to move out, to have and create these crazy angles to make plays. Is he going to still be able to do that? And that's the thing. So now, although the weather helped them last week, could the injury be a help for them this week in being able to contain? Because you saw the numbers were dramatically different from when he started the game without the injury to where it transitioned to when he had the injury. So those are things to keep an eye on for this game.
Something interesting I saw from Eric Eager, who I believe is or was with who's a Sumer Sports now. He compared this year's Bengals to last year's Chiefs, where they're coming off a Super Bowl loss. They start 4-4, get to 12 wins, and then you beat Buffalo in the divisional round. Clearly, last week wasn't Cincinnati's Super Bowl because they've been to a Super Bowl. You can't say the team's playing at Super Bowl if it's been there, done that. If a team believes in itself like Cincinnati does.
Mm-hmm.
The way they handled Buffalo in that game, though, makes me wonder just how much is left in the tank for them. I mean, obviously, they're riding high. They've won 10 games in a row in the National Football League. That's hard to do. Incredibly difficult to do.
Yeah.
Have they used up all their magic? Again, 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs the last 2 seasons. That's got to count for something. Winning 10 in a row has got to count for something. Mahomes being injured has to count for something. But have the Bengals hit a wall, given the way they kind of struggled against Baltimore, but eked it out, got up for Buffalo? Do you think they come out ready to play? Do you think that this is a team that might fight in the first half, but kind of in an inverse of last year, gets tired in the second half?
That's a tough one. I would think that when you're looking at all that's at stake, how you came up short last year, to find yourself on the verge of getting back with an opportunity. And we both know, and those who are listening know, that it's first hard to do to get back, let alone, just think about what the Bills did back with Jim Kelly and that whole getting back 5 times and still coming up.
Not getting a one.
You know what I mean? Just that in itself, how difficult it is to do, but you're on the verge of it. And then everybody that thought you would have been gone a game before now, I don't see that. I don't see that there be a lack of energy or a lack of focus or anything like that coming into that game. Plus, they're coming at you because they haven't beat you,
3 times.
You know what I mean? So I think the intensity of the moment, and I would say it's better that Cincinnati's on the road thinking about what you just said.
Okay.
Them being on the road where you're the road warriors, you're coming in, you're in a hostile environment. It's different than sleeping in your own bed, being comfortable, eating that good, porridge and food, and it's different. But being on the road, you can kind of focus. You get away from family. You get away from the noise. You get away from the local news. Everybody's talking about you. Everybody's talking down on you. Nobody expects you to do it. Everybody's trying to downplay it because of the fact that you have the Mahomes and the injury and all the situation, and you've lost. They're trying to downplay it. But when you think about it like that, it helps to be on the road. And so hopefully that'll bode well for them to get a win.
On the flip side of things for Kansas City, obviously Mahomes has the ankle issue. Able to play through it after a couple drives last week. As important as the quarterback position is, as much as Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL for my money, the most important player for Kansas City has to be Travis Kelce. I don't know who Cincinnati has to match up with him. I'm sure they'll throw different looks at them, but everyone and their grandma knows how important Travis Kelce is to Patrick Mahomes and his success. To me, this is on Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy to get Travis Kelce open, to put him in those advantageous situations to make life as easy as possible for Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, he had double-digit catches last, and everybody knew the ball was going to him, and yet he still found a way. I just think the difference is are they going to get it to him quickly? Are they going to be able to get downfield? What is his drops going to be like? Is definitely probably going to be a lot of shotgun action as opposed to under center. So that could minimize some of your playbook as far as your run game, your play action game, your rollout game. All of these different things can be affected because it's going to put stress and strain on you. So, if you have a smaller playbook, there's ways and route patterns and ways to defend, because you got to make somebody else beat you. You know what I mean? You've got to make those outside receivers to try to beat you. Can you get deep? It's going to be tough for him to step up in the pocket, move around in the pocket as he was if he was healthy, as opposed to now that he's injured. So I think there's ways to knock off Kelsey, get up under Kelsey, drop out of coverage, and from the line, do different things like that to try to stay up under him so they can't get the ball to Kelsey quickly and force them to try to run over into the middle and different things like that where you've got some more help.
The second most important guy might be Chris Jones on the defensive line. Kansas City, I didn't realize this till today, second in the league in sacks with 55. You mentioned just how well Cincinnati's line played last week. Do they have another performance like that in them, or is Chris Jones going to feast?
I mean, I think Chris Jones is going to be disruptive.
Okay.
I think he's going to be very disruptive. I don't, whether it's feast, I don't know. But Chase hasn't done nothing crazy. They've been Boyd and Chase and Higgins, and in those guys have been, the ball has been distributed very well between them. Will that leave room for somebody to have a big game? We'll see. I think they'll probably try to get the ball out quicker than they will allowing Burrow to be hit a little bit more. I think they'll want to try to establish the run game. They'll want to try to establish the run game to kind of just keep those guys at bay a little bit, slow down the linebackers a little bit, maybe have to bring a safety down, and then you give yourself an opportunity to open up some things. They'll probably want to establish those things early. They may take a chance or two early just to try to open the game up a little bit. So we'll those are going to be some things to keep an eye on as well. Text line hits us with a who day. Kansas City's favored by 1. Do you echo the who day? I'm going to go with until somebody beats the Bengals. I'm going with them. Okay. So I'm going with both road teams. Wow. And that comes from me being I'm a road warrior type. I love going into other people's buildings and shutting them up. Done. I love so I'm always just an underdog type of guy. I'm always an underdog type of guy, Austin. There you go. Strix picks the Niners and the Bengals to meet in the Super Bowl in a couple weekends. We'll come back with more on the block right after this.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you put your clubs away for the winter, time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sport Products on West O Street.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant for 61111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing heating to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Why are some people
more success? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships with limited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-83515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate, no option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local place with some of the best in Lake. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy Tall Boys and Bud, Coors Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? New construction breathing life into an outdated landscape. Let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you company, you fit of 3.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
What should the expectation be for a team that's gutting half of it, and you're replacing it with guys obviously that you like long term and some short term that you think can help right away? But this is a roster flipping. This is something that you would do if you're thinking about 3 or 4 years down the line, and they're building the program, not building the 2023 season.
I would say you'll hopefully see improvement on all 3 sides of the ball, because you're going to have so many new faces, new names, new numbers. It's going to be really fun.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Austin Norman with Eric Strickland here. NBA All-Star starters announced last night. A lot of familiar names here on the list. For the Western Conference, you have LeBron James, Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Zion Williamson, and Nikola Jokic. For the East, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, and Kevin Durant. Strick, any qualms with those 10 being picked as starters?
No, I don't see them as star. I think I would say I would be surprised at the Zion Williamson starter, being that, there was a long time injury.
Mm-hmm.
This goes back to
Curry too missed some time.
Absolutely. So this goes back to me as to it's a certain player, star driven league, because let's be honest, Domantas Sabonis is having a tremendous year.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, you would think that he would be somebody that would be in the mention of getting into the starting lineup for what they're doing. Sacramento has surprised everybody. No one, if you would have thought at the beginning of the year, you would have thought they would have been in the Wembanyama sweepstakes,
right.
But they're playing great ball. Sabonis is helping to lead that charge. I like the makeup of the team. It's a bunch of, De'Aaron Fox is playing phenomenal. There's just a bunch of hard-nosed, hard-working. They play with great poise. They're going to stretch you. They're going to shoot. They're going to work, and they're winning games. So I really think that I would have thought maybe Sabonis would have got a look.
The guy out east for me, it came down to Giannis and Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah, that's
Embiid has been putting up absolute numbers.
Yeah,
but Giannis has been leading the Bucks to wins without Chris Middleton. To me, it feels like, given that Philly's had pretty much everyone, this was a narrative call for Giannis.
Yeah, I would think so. That it is a surprise, but even more, Joel Embiid being a reserve is tough. I mean, he is a center, 7-footer, averaging. He leads the league in points per game, 33.4. He shoots 53% from the field, and then he shoots 35% from three as a center. So
and not just like a skinny center. He's a big dude.
He's a big boy. So Nikola Jokic, I think in the past, he gets overlooked too, but his numbers are absolutely astonishing as well for what he's done at Denver. He's 63% from the field.
63% from the field.
He's 63% from the field, but he's also 38% from three.
Wow.
And so he's also a walking, whereas he's a walking double-double also, because he averages 11 rebounds, and whereas Joel Embiid is just at 10.
Jokic is like you said, walking double-double and just a jogging triple-double. Leads the league in him again. Absolutely incredible. And this is, I think, the All-Star game where we should be focused on the names on the back of the jersey. How great are these players this year? What are they doing? But the All-Star game is just a continuation of the regular season in a lot of ways, is what it feels like. It's an exhibition. We know that. But
yeah, do you like it? Do you like it?
I haven't watched it once.
I haven't watched an All-Star game. I can't stand it.
Would you ever attend an All-Star game like this?
I wouldn't. I used to go to them pretty regularly back in the day. I don't think I would go. I just don't like it that it's just everybody's just kind of running around, and it's a dunk fest, and I don't even think no one cares when it gets to the end of it. It's like an irrelevant game to me now. Whereas in the past, these guys, they would first half, you kind of let some guys go, but then second half, hey, it's lockdown time. Those guys would lock down and play some D. And it would make it fun. It would be interesting, to see who was going to finish out and win the game with Magic and those guys, and and Bird, and David Robinson, and Michael Jordan, and Gary Payton. I mean, the guys wanted to compete, and you looked across at your your Western or your Eastern counterpart, and you're like, I want to dominate you. I'm trying to win the game. When I go out to the club tonight, I want to let you know that we beat you,
right?
Or these guys are going out, hey, yeah, man, great dunk, no, I want to let you know, yeah, I gave you some work tonight, but that's not how it is anymore. I don't like it.
The biggest attraction to me of All-Star Weekend is the dunk contest. At least it has been for the most part, but even that, you get Mac McClung, who had a great high school mixtape, but is in the G League. You get Shaedon Sharpe as a rookie, can jump, and KJ Martin are the ones that we have confirmed for it now. At some point, Strike, these guys are going to run out of dunks, right? Like, you can only do so many things with a basketball in the time you have to get up in the air.
Say that again?
The dunk contest used to be the attraction for me. It's really just not anymore.
Yeah, though, because they don't, the best of them don't do it. I mean, until they up the bar and up the ante, you probably want to give anywhere from 500 to $1 million or something, and you're not going to get the best of the guys to do it. I think the prize for doing it is $50,000. These guys are like,
man,
I tricked that off on a night
right.
in the what club. You know what I mean?
Right.
These guys.
So, Commissioner Strickland, how are you fixing All-Star Weekend?
I mean, you gotta put something on it. You gotta make it. You gotta make it worth the while to compete. It's got to mean something, for the East or for the West. I mean, you can't do it with how they tried to do it with baseball or anything like that. But the best part of that used to be Saturday but now it's the 3-point contest and it's the skills and it's other things. I mean, some of the other all-star some of the entertainment all-star games is more fun than the freaking regular
actual
all-star
game with the actual players.
So yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how you fix it.
So your idea is to put something on the line for it, like you said with that tournament. Make it $1 million a person or something like that. What if, since the players are saying, "Oh, we're playing too many games. Oh, we need our rest." What if you just give them a week off in the middle of the season? Like, I know it's a 4-day break.
Most of the guys do it now
break.
anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, what if you just say, "Hey, middle of the season, as soon as every team has played 41 games, you get 5 days off." And call that the All-Star break, where you don't play a game, you don't have a skills competition, you just give the guys a break, because it has honestly become farcical. And yeah, it's cool to win the 3-point shootout, but again, it doesn't get ratings. The dunk contest, not getting ratings. The All-Star game, no one takes it seriously. If no one's going to take it seriously and there's going to be nothing on the line, why do it at all?
That's a great point.
You call people all-stars, put it on their sports reference page, send out their release and everything. Okay, cool, good job, pat on the back. But if no one's going to take it seriously, why do it to begin with?
Sauter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Do you think the All-Star game is irrelevant? Would you watch it? Do you watch it? Me personally, I don't, but Austin makes a great point. I think, why not just give a break? And you stipulate that in your next CBA, we're going to give you this break, so you've got to participate in the games. You're gonna get a 5-day break in this time in the middle of the season, and you're gonna have to play an early season tournament that everybody has to participate in. So give them the break, forget the All-Star game, forget all the other stuff, the dunk contest, because it's something that no one probably watches. Do you feel the same? 402-464-5685. How do you feel about it? I would have to agree, man. I think just do something different, create a different vibe to it. Let guys go and hang out on their, boats in Miami or whatever. Go down to the Bahamas, get on a plane and go down to Curacao or something like that. I don't care. But you're going to play some games.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If there's going to be an exchange, you're going to play some games. So, I don't think that's a problem.
Here's the other thing on the rest front that I don't know exactly the inner workings of how this goes down in the league. Maybe you have some insight on it. Do teams have to report to the league that someone, I know they put out the participation report every day, but what if we made teams send in like doctor's notes to like an injury commissioner or czar, such as it is? Like, okay, if you're just resting a guy for, maintenance because you don't want him to play back-to-back so he's fresher for the postseason, hey, you're losing us money because people aren't paying, or they're paying and they're getting disillusioned when they come to see their favorite player play. You're like, no load management. Would it work to have an actual doctor, like write a doctor's note to say, hey, this guy can't play tonight for this reason? Would that solve anything?
I mean, that's part of helping in the, the decision making of somebody not playing. But I used to play, and that used to happen all the time, whether or not you were injured or not. That's how they use the way to kind of put you on the injured reserve and keep your roster intact. There were guys that probably weren't injured that would be on it just so that they can keep a 15-man roster.
But if you had like a doctor in the city that's not affiliated with the team evaluate a player, and if he gets the all clear and you sit him, then the team gets fined or something like that. Like, because that to me would give the players incentive to play. They don't want to get fined. You give teams a reason to play their players to not get fined. I think it'd be better for the fans if the guys they pay to see are playing.
But here's the liability issue that comes with that. Yes, you have that. Some guy ends up pushing a guy out there and saying, he's cleared, and then he gets injured. So now you're in a liable situation. So you keep the own. I hear you, but that's something that they would basically say, it would be an issue for them.
Sure. No crossover for us. DP and J are getting set up at the Mercado for Old School.
AJ said NBA. Let's just real quick before we get out of here. AJ says on the text line, well, actually, we'll come back. We'll do text line when we come back. We got to take a break.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select me. Get right the first time on a variety for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 1st and 2nd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagee sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We will be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 1st and 2nd in Kearney. RSVP, landmarkimp.com/events.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancene.com.
Ever think of having a career in plumbing or heating? Do you enjoy watching your favorite game in a nice, comfortable space? Taking a shower after a warm day? Well, everyone we serve at Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air sure does. If you're interested in a career in plumbing, heating, and air, come join our team where you'll get paid while training. No experience required. Enjoy great pay and benefits in a friendly environment. Call Biggerstaff Plumbing, Heating, and Air at 402-466-8118 or apply online at biggerstaffs.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technology. Jobs are available at our Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and the
Up on the block here on a Friday. Hope you are winding down your work week as well. This segment's all about you on the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Strick, I love that we're getting NBA talk in, even though we're not an NBA market. There's not a whole lot here close, so it's good to me, and I think it speaks well to the NBA that it does have that, cultural cachet, that even though we don't have an NBA team here, we're talking about it. But I think you want to get to AJ's text, wasn't it?
Well, AJ was good, but I don't even want to get to Gene. I'm okay with that, Gene. Gene in Lincoln says, this is potentially going to hit Stricky where he lives a little bit harder, and I apologize. Listen, I absolutely agree with you. I find it even myself hard to watch. A lot of my interest only comes late, when I'm kind of observing, when the playoffs are kind of about to come around. I too find it unwatchable at times, and I retired in 2005, and that was shortly after. I think when I watched Dirk win it in 2011 with the Mavs over Miami, I think that was probably one of my most interesting years, watching them, come back after I sat in the building and watched, one of the worst D-Wade moments of they just let him do whatever he wanted, and it made me want to come out of the stands and just throw an elbow in his chest or something. Those are some of the last times that I really, really enjoyed watching it. So I agree with you. Go ahead.
Huckleberry on the text line says, guys, people call in sick to work all the time when they really aren't. Why would we expect the NBA to be any different? Because while the NBA is a job, it's a career, the season's not 52 weeks, like other people go to work for 52 weeks. You don't bank sick days or accrue that time. You don't. It's a different system. And the NBA players chose that. No one's, forcing them to play in the NBA. They want to take sick days, go get a different career. But that's not how it works. It's a different industry, right? You can't just, yeah, sure, you can call in sick to work if you're like me. You don't want to go to work that day or you've banked the time. Sure, take a day off. Not the same system.
Yeah, I understand where he's coming from. I think we're talking about two different things. I think we're talking about just I want to rest today, or what they call, or they used to say, load management. You know what I mean? All of those. I think that's different, but that's a good way of looking at it. It's I can understand your point.
Unnamed texter says, divide the salary by 82 and get paid if you play. How does that work? Is it every 2 weeks it's direct deposit? Is it a game to game, like a game check sort of system? How does that work? Is it based on contract?
You do get paid every other week. There are multiple systems set up. Some people set up their system to where the money is deferred for 12 months, but mostly it's paid within the season.
The 2 week season. Yeah.
So you do get paid on a game-to-game basis because you are, by tax implications, everywhere you pay or everywhere you play, you're taxed based on where you played that specific game. So if you played in Toronto, you get paid for that, but you also get taxed for that particular game that you played in Toronto.
Interesting. So
your tax guys got all.
So if you're based, you started in Dallas, really low taxes. You go out to play Los Angeles, even though you get your salary, those two game checks, such as they aren't
You're
the
smaller.
Same.
Exactly.
Wild.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Huh.
Yeah, that's why when I was playing in Dallas, it was lovely because you play 41 you're 41 games in Dallas, you play another 2 in Houston, another 2 in San Antonio. You go to Portland twice, you get that. And then you go to Florida once. But
just once? You have Orlando and Miami.
Well, you go twice. Okay, you go twice. And then I don't think there's any other ones. Colorado.
Okay.
And then you go to LA and you get stung. But when I got traded to New York, oh my gosh. I looked at my first check and I was like, what happened? Like, it was like significantly smaller than what it was in Dallas. And
I
it was
put in
like
the same work. I'm getting paid less. What is this?
Yeah, it was a bridge tax, an oil tax, a borough tax. It was a super tax on everything. It was crazy, but yeah, that's where it was. Yeah.
That's wild. Cool Hand Luke on the text line says, make the All-Star game a game between the worst team from the West and the East. The winner gets the first overall draft pick.
Ooh, now you talk. Cool Hand Luke. I like the way you're talking. We're going to have to dig on that one another time. We got other textures to get to before we get out of here to the old school crew.
That's fascinating to me because you have the idea of the play-in tournament for who gets the last play-in spot.
Yeah, make it a lottery issue.
Earn something in the lottery.
I love it.
That's fascinating.
I love it.
Well done, Cool Hand Luke. Let's see here. Another anonymous texter says, nobody is paying to watch me work. Yeah. Nobody's paying to watch us work. It's free. That's why you should all watch. Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Make sure you're not just listening to us on the radio if you're driving around, but you can pull us up wherever it is you work. And then Kip says, don't NFL players get a game paycheck, or is that not true? And then no more checks until the next season.
I don't know about that one, but
we'll save that one for Jay Foreman. We'll ask him about how it works in the NFL. So it's 18 weeks of season, give or take, not counting training camp, 18 weeks of games before the playoffs. And that's the checks just come in those 18 weeks. Essentially, so it works in the NBA.
Yeah, it comes in for the period of it starts at training camp. So whatever you get a training camp, salary, and if you're on roster or you're under contract, it starts in training camp. And then it ends in the last day of March, and then you get playoff checks if you make it to the playoffs.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. The deeper you go in playoffs, the bigger the check gets.
Kip also asks, has anyone told me I sound like Jesse Eisenberg? Yes. Everyone tells me I sound like Jesse Eisenberg now. I also got the John Mulaney before.
Yeah.
That's one I hadn't heard. So we're waiting for DP and J to get connected out at the Mercado. So you are listening to Old School. We'll step aside 10 seconds for station ID. Be back in just a sec.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
So yeah, let's get off of an NBA talk and let's talk about what you guys want to talk about. Hit us on the Starter Heyman text line. If there are any things discussions or any things that you have on your mind, anything that you have thought about as we go into the weekend, we're waiting to touch off and transfer over to the old school crew. We don't want to make it about us. We want to make it about you. Starter Heyman text line is open. If you want to call in, you can do so as well. 402 Honda Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. If there's anything that you want to discuss, you can also hit us on the text line and we can bring a topic up and make it happen. I know Austin's got a lot of topics on his head, but I'm almost into the weekend already. I'm ready to get rowdy with a glass of vino. I'm ready to get vino in the blood.
Yeah,
I'm just being honest.
Sure. AJ, we had our NFL picks at the start of the hour. You can go back and listen to the podcast, but Strick took the road teams. He took San Francisco and Cincinnati.
All road.
Yep. Kip, thanks for chiming in here on the Starter Heyman text line as well. How big an asset is Pinnacle Bank Arena for Fred Hoiberg?
How big of an asset?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a great asset. When they were rolling, they were at full strength. I thought it was a great asset. I think the fans are kind of on hold, on wait. They want to buy in, but they're still kind of not sure. So I think you have moments like that where, it kind of goes into a little quiet moment, a little dead moment. Mm-hmm. They're in the game, they're doing well, and then all of a sudden they have a drought or a dry spell. And then you find themselves in a situation where it gets really quiet. I don't know if it was like that when I played. I don't remember. I remember it being a difficult place, like when teams came in here, it was very difficult for them to walk out with a win. And so, and it was one of the better crowds in the Big 8. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. That's what I thought, and I'm not being biased. I'm being real. I thought it was better than Oklahoma. I'll tell you the teams that I thought were really tough, that were difficult. I think by proximity of how close the crowd was on you. Oklahoma State was like that. It was tough. It was kind of like a Duke atmosphere. Hilton Coliseum was really tough. They were quite rowdy and loud. The Missouri crowd was nasty. They weren't like just overly raucous, but they were nasty. I mean, you would hear them say stuff to you. They would hold up a billboard. They know your background or your past. You know, they'd be Prop 48. You know, there'd be all kinds of stuff. You know, they throw out at you about your grades. They were like that. Obviously Kansas was pretty raucous. It was tough. It was dark. It was kind of, you know, just like you went into a dungeon. That's how it felt. You know what I mean?
So
yeah.
as Kip follows up to, he says, as far as recruiting players, how is it in NASA? You mentioned all of those places, Strick, and to me, those are college basketball environments. Obviously, it's great for the city of Lincoln to have PBA, to draw concerts and other events into.
Yeah.
It's great for Omaha to have the CHI Health Center, you know, for, you know, I know Creighton basketball uses it, but also for events. But when I think about college basketball, I think about those places that you mentioned. They're a little more intimate. You know, it's not 18,000, it's not 15,000. It's maybe 10. You know, it's 8,000, 9,000 people packed in right on top of you, loud, large section set aside for students.
Yeah. That's how it was in Devaney.
Right. PBA doesn't feel like a college basketball arena. It feels like they're playing college basketball in it.
Yeah.
So as a recruit, would you rather play in the big shiny toy or the college basketball environment?
I probably want to play in the environment. I'm just going to be honest. I would probably want to play in the environment. That's why Devaney, I just felt it just felt like it was so intimate. You walked into it, you walked right through, you know, the crowd. It was right there. It was right next to you. You know what I mean? Felt like they can touch you. And I think that's why it was a fun environment. I think that's why the girls volleyball is just off the chain, because that's what it feels like to me.
Right. Devaney, I mean, volleyball clearly deserves its own building. The way John Cook elevated that program, the way they've played, props to them. Give them a building. They absolutely deserve it. PBA and CHI just feel a little corporate.
Yes.
With all the suites.
Yes.
And again, not to say that those people can't be good fans and they can't make an impact. But when I think of, you know, college basketball, college football too, it's a college team, students, right? How do the students get to impact a game? Like, you just have the one little student section on the side for Nebraska. How do you increase the student participation? I'm sure being good consistently would help and make it a trend, but how do you make it feel more college, less corporate?
I'm dumbfounded on that, because I've watched that happen in so many ways. Like, even when, like, I'll go back like to when the Forum, the old, I'm going NBA now, but the Forum, that was an environment. Like, that was intense. Like, you would see, it was like a runway event. You would see the actors and the actresses, and you would see all the, you know, the big names in music, and they were like right there. It was intimate, right? And now it's just like you said, everything is so freaking corporate driven that you lost the intimacy of what those real fans, they send the real fans now way up to the top. Whereas you want them down. I remember what, even as bad as we were, what Reunion Arena was like. It was like, yo, it could get rowdy in there. And I think that's what's been lost with now these corporate environments.
Other people are saying when Husker basketball is competitive, PBA is loud, think no sit Sunday, and it would be fine if the product was good. We know Husker fans have it in them. So yes, part of it is on the players to, you know, play better, on the coaches to coach better and help create that environment. But can the inverse be true too, where if you have a better environment, it makes things easier for the players to some degree? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it can, Austin. I really do. I think that makes a difference.
We are getting word that the Old School crew is set up and good to go, so we will turn you over to them. Remember, DP and Jay are out at the Mercado on 84th and Havelock. Definitely stop by, say hi to those guys. Super great guys. They're out at the Scarlet yesterday. They're out at the Mercado today. So in just a sec, we'll turn you over to the Old School crew. For Strick, I'm Austin. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.
Great weekend, fellas. Ladies.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best